Welcome to iPen Visions Podcast, interviews and conversations, where we bring authors, speakers, entrepreneurs, and those with a vision to our networking community and platform. Be our guest. Include your article, your ad, your promotions, and upcoming events in our quarterly magazine. We are proud to be a part of the Collective for Podcast, a virtual tour showcasing you and your business. Our podcast, the magazine, a virtual tour, all on one platform where networking, creativity, and visions meet. All you have to do is contact us at ipendesign@gmail.com. And tonight, welcome to the show. Good evening, good evening, good evening. My name is Nanette Buchanan, and this is iPen Designs, interviews and conversations with myself and Felice Reeves. And we are looking forward to our guest this evening. However, she's in traffic, so she's riding on the highway. And of course, we don't want her riding on the highway trying to do a podcast. So we're just going to hold on until she gets here. But I want to thank all of you for being consistent with your viewing. And hey, invite others to subscribe and join us and join in to what we have. And I hope you've all been to the website, NanetteMBuchanan.com, and checked out the fantastic magazine. iPen magazine is out. The quarterly issue is out. And this quarter, we had something special. We also did a children's magazine. So I just want to mention that for a moment. Matter of fact, let me bring Felice on and let us mention it together. I'm going to bring her on. You guys know her as my partner in crime. She does all of the cover-ups and all of the dig-ups and all of that other stuff for me. And I appreciate her being just a support. Sometimes we just need that support in the background. And she's been more than that for me. So Felice, how you doing? Where are you? Are you in?
I'm well. Thank you. And first, congratulations. I have not checked out the website yet, but I'm doing that. So, but I am in Augusta, Georgia.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. You're still on this side of the water.
I am still on this side of the world for one more week, for this week. And then next Monday, I will be back in the lovely, the wonderful, the beautiful,
the lovely, the wonderful. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. For those of you that are new to our forum, new to our podcast, Felice lives, she lives in my mind as the if I ever wanted to do it over, I would love to be able to commute back and forth and, like the wind, and be able to explore all areas. But she goes from Augusta to Dallas, Texas, to Puerto Rico. And Puerto Rico is where her home is now. So we're looking forward to getting a chance to visit her in her home. Because, I mean,
yes.
There's nothing like visiting people in a new home, but when it's a new home and a new area and a plane ride away and beaches and sunshine and
that part.
That part.
Yep, the good stuff, all the good things.
All the good things. Yeah. So we're waiting for Dr. Julie Lee. She did contact us and tell us she was stuck in traffic. I don't know where she's stuck at. I don't know exactly if she's near her home or if she's actually on the road. I don't know exactly where she is, but we're gonna try to hold the fort down until she gets here. She did try to peek in, and then it cut off on her. So I'm assuming that on the ride, like it normally does, you get in and out. Streaming activity, you can't actually stay on, and we don't want her to do that. We want her to be safe. So
absolutely,
we want to make sure that when she comes in, she's at a solid spot where she can do what she needs to do to talk to us. But giving you some of the updates, giving you some of the things that have gone on. Well, we've done our first 2 issues of iPen magazine, January to March, and then March to April. We've done both of those issues, but then the summer came, and all of a sudden I had a spark in mind, and I told Felice, hey, I'm thinking about doing a children's issue for the summer, because there's some kids that, even though they're out of school, they're working hard towards other things that they're into, other activities that they're into, other sports that they're into. And we want to acknowledge them. We want to look at them and acknowledge them for what they do. So just a little brief synopsis of what's in the magazine. I want you all to go to the website. I have the website up on the screen. I want you all to go to the website, but just a brief synopsis. Not only do we have the magazine that's our regular magazine from June, July, and August. We have the regular magazine. Well, no, I'm sorry, not June, July, August, and September. This issue, and we have the regular magazine with our phenomenal podcast personalities that came on during the earlier months. But for the children's issue, oh my goodness, some of the stories and some of the things that they're into, I couldn't believe it. We had the main feature was KL Belvin, and this past weekend she's been bowling from Friday all the way through to, I think, almost Monday.
Wow.
She's been in tournaments in I think Missouri or Minnesota, and also in Ohio. And she bowls. However, she's actually bowling for scholarship money for college. Now, most people would look at that and say, "Oh, well, that sounds about right. You're getting ready to go to college." No, she's not getting ready to go to college. She's 12.
Not by the looks of her.
She's 12. Okay.
That's awesome.
But she's bowling and she's winning scholarship money for college. I thought it was a phenomenal feat, especially being an ex-bowler, that I'm like, wow, what is she bowling at 12 years old? Well, this young lady is bowling 176, 168, 200s. So I got to get my game up if I want to even talk to her, because I finished with those things, but today I know I'm nowhere near those scores. But it's a fabulous thing to know that the children are excelling. We had a young man who's a public speaker, and he is not finishing grammar school. He's done at the age of 11, I believe, or 12. And he's going on to high school already.
Wow.
He's skipped a couple of grades and now he's ready for high school.
Man,
so he's a public speaker, and he aspires to be just that, a public speaker. He likes speaking. Another young man we had, I thought it was really, really crazy, because he's a leader in the community. He's a leader in the family and all the groups that he's in. But this young man wants to be a mortician or a detective. I'm like, okay. I don't think I had a couple of friends that their dad was a mortician, but
so he has no one in his immediate circle that's a mortician.
No,
that's interesting.
No,
that's interesting.
But that's what he works part-time in the funeral home, helping the families and giving them the information about what's going to take place and how it's going to take place. And he's a child. Okay. The next little prodigy was well, I don't want to take any accolades for it, but it is one of my grand. She's no longer considered my grand woman, because she is now grown and she's getting ready to go to college. She's going to SCAD, so that's the in South Carolina. It's the School for Drama and Arts, and she's going to take that course. And she's been an A student since she could talk. So I wanted to put her a little bit in the limelight. So she's in the magazine. And then there's this phenomenal little 7-year-old who does gardening. She does cooking. She makes cupcakes and cakes with her mom. And here's the funny thing. She does American Sign Language.
Nice.
At 7.
Yeah, again,
So she brings in the children that don't know how to talk.
huh,
She's able to communicate with them. And
awesome.
she's been excelling in that program at
Mhm.
seven.
Mm.
At seven. So, and the last one is my little grand woman, who
Yeah.
is a gymnast. She
Mhm.
does gymnastics, and she also does art, and she does
Mhm.
artwork and everything.
Mhm.
And I just wanted to uplift the kids. But
Yeah.
then the question that I have for Felice
Mm.
is, should we wait until next summer?
Oh no, no, absolutely not. I think we probably should do it twice a year.
Twice a year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
At least
So
twice
if
a year.
you guys are listening, please send an email.
Mhm.
Send us an email. Let us know what you think about it. Send us an
Mhm.
email and tell us, of course, go and look. Please go and look at the magazine.
Sure. Yeah.
Get an eye on the magazine, see what it
Mhm.
is. But send us an email and tell us what you think.
Yeah.
Tell us what you think. Do
Absolutely.
you think that we should be acknowledging some of the youth, not so much in a podcast where they have to speak or anything? And I'm quite sure these youth,
Yeah.
this particular group, would be able to speak. They'd be able to answer questions and speak. But we're not looking for that.
Mm-hmm.
We're just looking to show people that there are youth that are not doing the not do. Okay,
Yeah.
there are youth that are not out there terrorizing and causing problems
Mhm.
in their neighborhoods and in their school. There are a lot of them that are doing things that are exceptional.
Yeah. But they already have a focus and a direction, and that's amazing. I applaud that definitely.
Yeah, I,
Yeah.
I just thought that maybe, just maybe, we ought to do it more than just for the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe after the first semester of school, and then at the summer, being the second, semester of school. But I think that they need to be noticed. They need
Mm-hmm.
to be recognized because a lot of times their parents get to recognize them. They're recognized at award ceremonies, but there's a lot of people in the community and other children that don't see enough.
Mm-hmm.
They see them in sports and academics, and it's not that I eliminated the sports or the academics,
Mm-hmm.
but I just thought maybe, just maybe,
Yeah.
these kids need to be,
Yeah.
given a little bit of accolade time. So
Mm-hmm.
we're looking forward to talking to some of the people that nominated them. Maybe we can have them on the show and
Yeah.
ask what their thing was. But I'm hoping that we can. Our
Yeah.
guest has arrived. I guess
Yay.
she had a chance to park her car and relax a bit before, coming on. We didn't want her to have to be leaning in to hear what we are saying while she's trying to turn the steering wheel. So we're happy that she is here. I want to introduce our guest for tonight.
Mhm.
And tonight's guest is known in more ways than one. So we want to talk to her and get her information and find out what's going on. Our guest tonight is Dr. Julie E. Lee, and we
Yeah.
want to bring her to the stage. Welcome, 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 welcome.
Yay.
How are you? How are you? How are you? I hope running through that traffic you didn't go, crazy with it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can only
Well,
imagine. I can only
we
imagine.
appreciate you safely getting here. And
Right.
welcome.
Praise God. Praise
Yes,
God.
praise God, praise Him.
Yes, yes. So
I was
what
praying the whole way. I was like, Lord, keep me safe. Keep me safe.
There you go. That's right. That's
Keep me
right.
safe. Keep me safe.
well, we're glad that you made it. We're glad that you're here. We
Mhm.
we
Yes,
kind of held it down for you.
Uh-huh.
Waiting
Thank
for
you.
you to
I
come in.
appreciate
So we
that.
want to make sure that you're okay. Well, before we go into exactly the all in all of who you are, we do something here that many don't do. Okay. We do not introduce our guests other than your name, Dr. Julie E. Lee. We want you to tell us who Dr. Julie E. Lee is, because of course you know yourself better than we do.
Of course.
So
Yeah.
if you tell us, tell us about you.
Okay. Well, first, I just want to say thank you so much for having me. I am honored to be in this space with you, and I apologize for being late.
No worries. No worries.
I had a patient that took longer than I thought, so God is good, and I'm glad I'm here safely, and I'm just excited to be able to share information. And so,
Mm-hmm.
to tell you a little bit about me, Julie E. Lee, or Dr. Lee, or Julie, same person. I am a family nurse practitioner, but I have also had some time in the military. So I did 22 years in the Army, and I retired in 2019 as an Army nurse. So I've been in nursing since 1997, and I've been working in the healthcare field since then, and I've seen the transition and the changes, and it has really been eye-opening. And our healthcare system, I just pray because God is the only one that can fix
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So, uh, who is Julie? I'm a nurse practitioner. Now, first, I'm a woman of God. So
Amen. Mhm.
I can't do anything without my Lord and Savior. So I'm a child of the Most High God. That's the first thing that I am. And then I'm Julie Lee. I'm a nurse practitioner. I'm a mom. I used to be a wife, but God is good. That's okay. I did, like I said, 22 years in the Army. I retired as a lieutenant colonel. I'm the author of Gracefully Broken. Praise God. I call that God's baby because let me tell y'all, I wasn't the smartest student in school. I made C's and B's, and for me to write a book, that's nothing but God, because I don't even like to read. So I said, Lord, that's you. If that's what you want me to do, that's what I'm gonna do. And so I'm someone who spent years looking successful on the outside,
Oh.
while quietly just like falling apart on the inside. And so I'm happy to share this journey with people. My story, it really isn't about heartbreak. My story is more about healing. And it's about discovering that He doesn't waste our pain. He
Mm-hmm.
transforms our pain into purpose. And so
Okay.
that's why I'm so excited to be here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a mother of two wonderful children. My daughter is 20. She goes to Louisiana State University, and she wants to be a nurse practitioner like her mom.
Nice.
Yay.
All
But
right. All
my
right.
son is my son is 19, and he goes to Middle Tennessee State University. He wants to be, y'all, he said this, I didn't say this. He wants to be a Christian therapist. I said,
Very
praise
good. Woo,
Jesus.
praise the Lord. Thank you, Jesus.
Thank you, Lord. We did something right. And
Yeah.
so that's just a little bit about me. And I'm just excited to be here and just to share my story. And this is a journey. So
Mhm.
transformation for me is a journey. It's not like, oh, I have made it, I'm there. No, it's a continuous process. So I'm being transformed. And I think my purpose on this earth, I really believe, is to love, to serve, and to help others heal. And so
Well,
that's
I
what I'm
think,
set out to do.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
that the idea of the title of your book,
Mm-hmm.
Gracefully Broken, and then the explanation that you put behind it as a subtitle, How God Restored My Life Piece by Piece.
Yeah.
A
Yeah,
lot of people don't realize when they got restored.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
A lot of people skip that part. They figure, oh well, he blessed me, but they don't realize that there's a restoration
Oh
Mm-hmm.
gosh.
in the blessing.
Yeah,
So when you said, or when we think about your purpose and your mission still matters, a lot
yeah,
of people forget that after they get that little piece of healing, that there's something that's supposed to come after it.
Mm-hmm.
definitely.
You know what I mean? You can't
Mhm.
heal and then don't take it further. You
Yeah,
know, It's not like you look, I'm waiting for Friday so I can get my paycheck so I can pay the bill. And then after that, you don't even worry about the rest of your bills because the main bill got paid. You're not worried about it. No, the mission is to get those bills down so that you don't have those bills. You know, that's your mission. So we have to think about it more about our purpose. What is our purpose? So can you tell us how does one find their purpose? How would you explain it to finding that there is a purpose behind what's going on? We understand my mission is to do this, and once I conquer that, I'm done. But that's not purpose filling. What is purpose in your words, in your terms?
That's a great question, and thank you for asking that. So for me, and I can only speak for myself, so purpose for me is doing that thing in life that I feel good about. That when I do it, I have this satisfaction. I have this joy, this comfort, and for me, that is how I find my purpose. So it's more about me doing it and praying and listening to God. And then as I'm moving in this life, the things that I'm doing, how does it feel internally? Like, am I getting satisfaction for this or from this? Do I feel good when I go to bed at night because of the decisions I made? That lets me know what my purpose is. So when I'm doing things and I'm doing things that I'm like, I don't even know how I'm doing this, but I'm doing it with grace, then that lets me know, you know what, you're walking in your purpose. You're doing what you're put on this earth to do. So that's for me, for my purpose. And I like to say your mission still matters, because some people think when they retire or when things happen in their life or things don't go as planned that, oh, well, I'm not supposed to be doing anything. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. But I always tell people your mission still matters no matter where you are. After you retire, after you get finished with that job that you worked years on, I think everybody has a mission and a purpose. And whatever they used to do, there's always something more to do. So their mission and their purpose still matters.
Amen. Now I want to go back to the first topic of the gracefully broken. Because there in my mind there's two things. So a lot of times we make decisions that end up breaking us. Then there is a God breaking. So I want to just kind of know how or what track you're on with that, because the second part of your title said that God restored me piece by piece. So it kind of does feel like there's two sides to this, right? So if you'll tell me just a little bit more about that, I would love to know.
Yes. And hold on one second. Let me get something.
Okay.
I'm a visual person. So what
Okay.
I want to do to better explain that, in my book, or on my book, you see that cover. It is called Kensitsu. It's Japanese pottery.
Okay.
And so that stood out to me. And I just want to briefly talk about what it is, because this is what the theme was. So in that particular culture, the potter, they put the clay on the wheel. They actually make the bowl and then purposely break it.
Yeah.
And when they break it, they put it back together with like this gold glue or lacquer.
Yeah.
And so that's symbolic for me, because it's like when you break things, a lot of times we think, oh, that's broken.
Yeah.
That's no longer useful. Let's throw that away. We're done with that. But when you're gracefully broken, that means that, okay, that bowl has fell to the ground and is cracked and is shattered. But when you allow God into your life and you listen, for me, when I listen and I'm doing my purpose and I'm walking in what God has for me, He is putting me and my life back together in this gold. And so for me, it looks better now that it's mended with this gold versus just the normal bowl.
Yeah.
So gracefully broken is being broken, but then
Mhm.
allowing God to put you back together.
Yeah.
Because when
Mm-hmm.
that happens, then God is, for me, allowing me to do the things that He wants me to do.
Yeah.
And so
Mm-hmm.
those cracks, the
Yeah.
brokenness
Uh-huh.
allows God's light to shine so I
Yeah.
can share this story because I want people to know you're not alone.
Yeah.
Nobody is perfect.
Yeah.
Even if you're successful, even if you feel like, oh, I got everything going on, you know what? There's still some parts in your
Mm-hmm.
life, maybe,
Mhm.
that God still needs to work on you with. And so gracefully broken is for me allowing myself to fall apart
Yeah.
and let God put me back together and mend me in those places that I didn't even know existed. But
Mhm.
then when He mends me back together, it's beautiful. Like,
Yeah.
but
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
beautiful.
did
That
I
is
answer
beautiful.
your question? I
Yeah.
sort of went
Oh
all
yeah.
over the
No.
place,
No. Very good. Very good. Very good. No. That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that. I think I've even seen something kind of that made me, or it's on the same track of that. Is that gold? Now that the gold is inlaid in there, it's even more valuable.
but yes.
Mm-hmm. It brings more value.
It's
Mm-hmm.
even
Mm-hmm.
more valuable, and
Right.
that's how our lives should be. Right, God is the gold, and He
Yeah.
is the one that fuses and mends us and makes us whole and transforms us into this newness. Because once you're broken, you're new.
Mm-hmm.
That bowl
Mhm.
is now new or renewed,
Right.
renewed.
Because you don't come back the same.
That's right. That's right.
You don't come back the same.
Hmm.
Even if you look at it as, you broke your arm, even though the doctor mends it, even though you have the cast, even though it's molded back to in place and everything, the arm still doesn't quite work the same. It doesn't quite bend the same. It doesn't, and you may feel better, than what you were, but the thing about it is it's not quite the same.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's more than you expected. I didn't expect to be healed. I didn't expect to be better. I didn't expect to be
Mhm.
this way, and it's more than that.
Yeah.
But one thing you left out in your introduction was that you are the founder of Pure Wellness.
Yes.
That was the one thing you left out in your introduction, that you are a founder of something called Pure Wellness, which deals with faith, healing, resilience, and transformation, which you just explained beautifully. Through your faith, you heal, and it builds a resilience, and you transform into something that you wanted to be, but you don't even realize sometimes the transformation that has taken on.
Mhm.
So in your business, when you talk to people, and I always ask people this because sometimes and it's funny because the people that I've had to address this to years ago during my career, I would always ask them, do you think that everybody is broke? Do you
Mhm.
think that everybody has to go through this that you're going through? That do you believe that you're the only one? Do you
Mhm.
believe that, tell me what you believe. Is it a majority thing or is it a minority thing? I mean, where do you get this idea that you can automatically go on a whole different path
Mhm.
and either find destruction of self or
Mhm.
find such a thing that puts you on such a level that no one can touch you? For some
Mhm.
reason, the people that I was dealing with, they didn't think that there was a fancy medium in between. Either they were above the norm, or
Mhm.
they were so low that they couldn't heal. So
Mhm.
how do you get someone to come into that pure wellness
Mhm.
where they don't criticize, well, this is what my mama did, or this is because my mama did this, or this is because my daddy wasn't there, or this is, you know, look for the pure wellness in it. When I first saw, the name of your company and your program, the first thing I said was, wow, is there enough of us to say that we want you to not only be well, but what we want you to be is settled into pure wellness.
Mhm.
So how does one get that? That sounds like that gold that you're talking about that's going through that cup. So how does one get that pure wellness?
Oh, thank you for asking that. It's a beautiful question. And pure wellness is my baby. It's I say I just gave birth to it this year, but it's sort of been in the back of my head. And so that was born from just working in this, and I'm going to say it, dysfunctional healthcare system that we all are a part of.
Yeah.
I really felt like there is something that's missing. As a
Mm-hmm.
practicing nurse practitioner, I'm sad to say, almost ashamed that medications, like my job is, okay, what are your medications? Let's refill them. Let's get you back on your medicine. Let's put you on this. And then I just had to take a step back. Like, okay, so wait a minute. God created us. God created our bodies to heal itself. All
Yeah.
the stuff we're putting in, all these toxins we're breathing, all the stuff we're eating, a lot of that is not like healthy for us, and it doesn't really make us feel good. The
Mm-hmm.
alcohol, tobacco, the sugar, the sweets, all the stuff that, sometimes people like and grew up on, a
Yeah.
lot of that is not really healthy and it's not nourishing your body. It's not giving that the nutrients and minerals that your body needs that God created us to have. So I know God He created everything that we need to live on the
Mm-hmm.
land. And so when we start introducing a lot of other stuff, things start going haywire in our body. And so pure wellness, my goal with that is to promote wellness in the whole body, mind, body, soul. And it's all
Mhm.
about what are you putting in your body? Not
Mm-hmm.
only food, but what are you putting in your mind? What are you watching? What are you listening to? And so
Mhm.
I know there's a lot going on in the world today when it comes to mental health. So it was like, let's put something together that's pure wellness. So pure
Mm-hmm.
wellness means you're not 100% perfect. It just means that you're focusing on things that nourish your body. You're doing
Mhm.
things that help you heal. You're doing things that give you that peace, that joy, that satisfaction. So you're giving all that stuff to your body, your mind, body, spirit, and it's pure and it's coming from the Lord. The Lord is allowing people, in my opinion,
Mhm.
like you have the resources there. And so a lot of
Mhm.
times for us, we just got to make that decision. Do I eat this cake or brownies? Or do I eat this fruit? Not saying brownies are not good because I love brownies. I just don't make them because I eat the whole pan. So I'm making
With you. I'm so with you. Yeah.
that's a decision that I made because I know if I make these brownies, I'm gonna eat all of them. So
Yeah.
how about
Mhm.
I bring in fruit in my house? How about I
Mhm.
bring in strawberries and good
Mm-hmm.
lean meats and good protein? So
Mm-hmm.
Pure
Mhm.
Wellness, it's going to. I'm so excited. It's actually Pure Wellness Enterprise, and there's so much that I want to do with it. And I'm just
Mhm.
waiting on God to give me that direction and
Yeah.
Right,
where to
right.
go and
Mm-hmm.
open up doors. And so
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to see where he's going to take it. I say, that's God's baby, y'all. I'm just, hey, Lord, you tell me
Yeah.
what you want me to do. We're going to do it. We're going to focus on mental health. We're going to focus on like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes. Let's just do the basic things that
Yeah.
people are
Right,
struggling with.
right.
So I am so excited about Pure Wellness, y'all. Y'all just
Well,
don't know.
it sounded beautiful to me because of the simple fact that a lot of people don't go as deep
Mm-hmm.
into their health care as
Yeah.
what pure wellness seems to be, willing to offer. People, the minute that things don't work, instead of them looking at self and looking at purpose, they immediately want to run to, like you said, the medicine cabinet, or they want to run to therapy and have a therapist tell them that they need to sit down and take this med or take that med.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this week alone, I've had 3 people contact me that said, "Well, my therapist is cutting me off, and I don't know what to do because they're saying I can't go past 12 sessions, or they're saying I can't." So, what are you going to do if you can't go past 12 sessions?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Just what are you going to do? If they say that you can't, now the world has come to an end because you can't get past 12 sessions. Really? Really?
Mm-hmm.
And if you've been to 12 sessions, what did you learn in the 12 sessions that would allow you to go ahead and be okay after. You know, what if they're saying 12 sessions is enough, then why are you not ready for the 12 I had one person tell me 12 sessions is not enough for me. How could you tell? You haven't been there yet. You didn't go yet. So I think the dependency, no matter what it is, be it medical, be it counseling, be it whatever, we have to learn how to internalize some of the healing, internalize some of the reading that we do. Understand that everything that you read needs to be reread, or it needs to be researched, or it needs to be don't just read it and go, well, that happened to them, and no, that was a movie that they made up, and it that it happened that way.
Nanette, as you're talking about this, again, my heart goes out, but a lot what we have been conditioned to do is look to whatever healing is someone doing it for us, or prescribing the pill. That's why the 12 sessions were enough, because you're not invested, and that's what it takes. And I was when I was reading your bio, I was thinking of the word resilience. As you were talking, and I would love for you to tell me what that word means for you. But where the resilience is that there's lots of things we're resilient for. It's the stick-to-itiveness, but understanding what are we sticking to, right? We're looking most of the time. We're looking for that magic pill to take us out of a lot of things, a lot of our decisions that got us into. Right. And so there's that, okay, yeah, I made all these decisions without considering myself. And that's the main ingredient to any of these things, is that you
have
how
to be
invested you are into. Okay. So your turn.
Yeah, you're right. And just giving it a breakdown the way that Dr. Lee broke it down in her bio. Self-control. Tell us how self-control helps that resilience. Because like you said, a part of that resilience has to involve you. So how if I don't have that self-control, the resilience is broken. So explain to us how self-control is a part of that input.
That's a great question. Thank you for asking that. So I'll back up just a little. For me, resilience is, in simple terms, how do you bounce back when things don't happen or go the way you want it to go? How do you react? Do you get stuck? Or are you able to move forward and learn from what happened? So resilience for me is overcoming those obstacles in life, because they're going to happen. I mean, nobody's perfect. We're human. You're going to have trials, tribulations, but resilience is, how do you get through that and not get stuck in it? And you mentioned self-control, which is, oh my gosh, it's a big thing that I think sometimes I had to just really step back, and I still have to step back and say, okay, Julie, this is something that you're going to have to empower yourself with, embrace it, and move forward with it. So for me, self-control is more like, okay, I know I want those brownies, right? They're gonna hurt my stomach and they're gonna put pounds on me. So my self-control was like, okay, let's have some strawberries. Let's have something that's not as detrimental to your health as the brownies. And maybe every now and then you can have a brownie, but just don't make them at home, because you're gonna eat that whole
Right.
Right. And not only that, the thing about self-control, like I said, coming from the background that as a matter of fact, your background as well in the military and everything else, you got to deal with attitudes.
Oh my God.
You got to deal with controlling tempers. You got to deal with the I don't want to. You got to even with those brownies, You know, you got to deal with that. I don't want to. I'm
Yeah,
going to eat a brownie, you know.
Well, you can't be saying that. We got brownies at home.
Yeah, you know, you got it, you know, you got to have that self-control that says, I can't say everything that I want to say when I know it's against what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
I can't do everything that I want to do when I know it's against what I'm trying to do.
Yes.
There has to be that gold cup, that lined cup in front of you that says, if you don't want to crack this, you need to control what you're into and how you do. And self-control is one of the things that constantly comes up when people say, well, I'm going to get that medication. Well, how often are you taking those pills now? Because we all know.
And why? Because again, our society promotes to the to the nth degree that pill will take care of
that pill will do everything.
You don't have to have any responsibility.
And if I don't take the pill, I'm gonna just take it with a drink.
Well,
or I'm gonna just take it with a smoke.
And it's okay that there's these 40 side effects. It's okay.
Exactly.
It's okay.
What really got me, I'll never forget it. You know, I suffer from migraine headaches, and I've had them since I was a child. And I will never ever forget. I don't even remember how old I was. There was a young girl who she had a headache before she went out with her friends. And when she went out with her friends, they were drinking. She went into an instant coma.
Oh my goodness.
She was in a coma for 15 years. Her name was Karen Quinlan. I don't know if you remember the case or you know of the case or whatever, but it was a true case. And everybody across the board was like praying for this young girl because I think she was about 14, 15 years old. And all I could remember as having migraines and having them say to me, well, we can't give you the medicine that you could take. I mean, of course, us being females, you take medicine for your menstrual, you take medicine and they're telling me, well, instead of taking one of those, take two of those. And all I could think of was this girl saying that she took this extra medicine and added alcohol to it to boost it up and wound up in a coma.
Oh my.
So I've always been like cautious to how much do I take? When do I take it? Can I bite my tongue a little bit because I don't need it? You know, and that's a part of the self-control that we need, not so much on that level, but on any level.
Yeah.
You got to think about the fact that how detrimental is it to me if I speak up and I'm not supposed to speak up? If I cause a ruckus and I'm not supposed to call a ruckus, if I'm taking meds that I'm not supposed to take and I take more meds than what is prescribed, you know, where's the self-control in that? And a lot of people don't even understand it. They don't understand the difference between being a drug abuser and a drug addict. When you say to you, oh, well, you're a drug abuser, and they'll say, no, I'm not an abuser. I used to. Have you ever taken a pill from someone and said, hey, do you have anything for a headache? And they give you their pill. Well, you just became a drug abuser because the pill wasn't prescribed for you. You know what I mean? So self-control, we have to widen the scope of what self-control is. But in that, wouldn't we include self-care?
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully.
Why do we think self-care is selfish?
I know, right? It's not. That just makes me think. Of course, 2 Timothy verse, chapter 1, verse 7, God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and self-control, self-discipline. So for me, I think that when it comes to self-control, self-discipline, when I feel like something is pulling me, the brownies calling my name, pulling me in, that's when I have to say, okay, hold up, Julie. That voice you're hearing,
It's
Brown
not
is gonna
one
eat
that's
me,
helping you.
that is
Mm-mm.
not for you. And so I have to
Mm-mm.
practice self-control, which means I know that if I eat the whole pan, it's
Mhm.
gonna hurt my
It's gonna come
stomach.
back. It's gonna
I'm
come
gonna
back.
feel horrible, and it's
Mhm.
not worth it. So I
And
have
not
to
only that, you just crossed the
practice.
line of self-care because you didn't take care of yourself because you ate the
Exactly.
brownies.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you know something you put in your body or something you do is gonna make you feel bad,
Mhm.
take a step back.
Yeah.
Why am I
Mhm.
doing this to myself?
Yeah.
Then that's when
Mhm.
you have to think of, do I love myself? If I love
Mhm.
myself, why is this happening? The flesh is
Mhm.
so weak. We're humans. We all
Yeah.
fall,
Mhm.
and nobody's perfect.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
where that self-control comes in.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
know it's gonna make me feel good for 10 minutes, but then an hour
Mhm.
from now, I'm gonna
Yeah.
feel like
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
crappy.
Yeah.
And so that's a good point. Self-control, self-care, they
Mhm.
go hand
Yeah, they
in
go
hand.
hand in
Yes, they
hand. They
do.
go hand in hand.
Definitely. Definitely.
And it's not
Yeah.
selfish to take care of yourself. I'm learning that as a healthcare provider, as a
Mhm.
retired Army nurse. You know, in the Army, they teach us selfless service.
Mhm.
Oh,
Mhm.
and I
Mhm.
took that to heart. I'm going to
Yeah.
take care of everybody else, and then I'm
Everybody
going to
but
put
me.
myself on the back burner. No way.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No.
I'm
And I
looking
think I
to,
think the other thing with that too is not so much that it's gender related, but more so for women than it is for men. We have that nature of wanting to care for others,
yes,
the babies, the
yes.
children,
Mhm.
the elders. We
Mhm.
we tend to want to be that servant
Mhm.
of others until we get mad,
Mhm.
and be like, wait a minute, you using me,
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
you just walking all over me and what I have to give. But the thing about it is it's just a nature thing for us,
Mhm.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
motherly nature,
Mhm.
even those that are not mothers. You can see the little girls that they want to do so much, they want to help, they want to be a part of, because it's just innate ability to want to care for others,
Yeah.
Yep.
to help others, so I think that knowing that self-control, self-care comes in, but what about self-awareness?
Mm, self-awareness. Now that's a good one. That's one that I'm still working on. I think I'm gonna be working on that forever because we change.
Yeah.
I change. I'm not the same Julie I was at 20 that I am today at
Yeah.
52.
Mhm.
So self-awareness is so important for me. I have to understand, okay, so what's going on inside of me? If
Mhm.
somebody says something to me and I pop off or I'm upset or I immediately get anxious or something stirred up in me,
Mhm.
I do some self-reflection and that
Mm.
self-awareness for me. What is it about me that makes me upset when you say this about
Yeah.
me? Is
Mhm.
it because I'm insecure?
Mhm.
Probably so,
Mm.
because
Mhm.
I know that I'm a child of the Most High God and God loves me. I'm the apple of His eye, and never He will leave me nor forsake me. If
Mhm.
I know that and I feel that and I embrace it, if
Mhm.
someone else says something other than what God says about me, why would I believe it?
Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
Why
Mm.
would I believe that? I
Mm.
say, your
Mhm.
opinion, especially if it's negative, your opinion of me is not my destiny. Praise Jesus.
Yes. Praise
Mhm.
Praise Jesus that He loves me and I'm the apple of His eye. I may not be the apple of your eye,
You're
but
right.
I'm the
Right.
apple of
That
His
one don't matter.
eye. And so let me do some self-reflection. How do I feel about myself? Because when I'm feeling good about myself, when I fill my cup up and allow people to benefit from my overflow, not
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yes.
not benefit from me pouring into
Oh
myself. So I
yeah.
have to pour in
Mhm.
myself and allow people
Yeah.
to benefit from my overflow.
Yeah.
And so
That's right.
that's where that self-awareness comes in. When I'm
Mhm.
doing
Mhm.
something and I automatically get upset or something happens, Julie, take a step back. What's going
Mhm.
on inside you? Are
Yeah.
you
Well, I'm
hungry?
quite
Did
sure
you
in
eat?
your nursing field, I I commend you for being a nurse.
Oh,
My
thank
last 8 years on my job, I worked with nurses that had to
you.
deal with any and everything, in the nursing field. So now when you say, that you know what your reflection is,
Mhm.
but when you see that person, and I'm quite sure you come across them, that don't see it within themselves.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How do we uplift that type of person to make them aware that your self-care, your self-control, your self-awareness all becomes that resilience that keeps you above and beyond, knowing that yes, you have a purpose? How do we get them to like embrace that? Because I'm quite sure you is oh, you're going to get better, oh, you're going to feel better, let me give you this, let me show you that, let me teach you some exercises, let me talk to you, oh, today your family is coming to visit. I mean, nurses always have that soft tone to kind of, where even if you at your sickness, you'd be like, well, I feel a little better, just talking to the nurse. So how do we get that self-awareness to stick?
That's a great question. And just from my experience, what I've learned is lead by example. So, as a
Mhm.
nurse and as a leader, if I am allowing my light to shine, if I feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, I'm walking in my purpose,
Mm-hmm.
the best thing I could do is just show that person love,
Yeah.
show them kindness,
Mm-hmm.
just lead by example. Like, you're going to be okay. I know you don't feel good now, but I'm going to help you through this journey. And then
Mhm.
really at the end of the day, it's that person that has to have that self-awareness. They have to have that conversation with themselves. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I
Mhm.
can do this. But my role, in my opinion, is just be that example, be that light,
Mm-hmm.
be that
Mhm.
kind person. Kindness is free. It doesn't cost anything to be kind to somebody. It
Yeah.
doesn't
Mhm.
cost anything to listen to somebody.
Mhm.
So I'm like, let me lead by example. So instead of trying to force somebody, oh, I need you to feel better and be better. No, if they're not feeling it,
Yeah.
Mhm.
step back. I pray for them. I pray with them. And then
Mm-hmm.
I just try to lead by example. Just because
Mhm.
you're having a bad day, just because you're feeling bad, doesn't
Mm-hmm.
mean that that's going to jump on me. Let me take a
Yeah,
step back.
yeah.
Let me
And
be
that's
my
the main thing. You don't want it to jump on you. That's true.
exactly.
And in the self-awareness, if it does jump on you, then you
You
recognize it. It's
realize
like,
it.
this is not me. Something,
Right,
Yeah.
something has
right,
disturbed that.
right.
So I don't know if this question is going to take us off the track that we're going, even though I love this track. But first, thank you for your service.
Thank you for your
Thank
support.
you. um, I'm an army brat, so I kind of know that. But I want to ask you a question about healthcare, though, because it just dawned on me as we were talking. Um, you're in healthcare outside of the military, right? To
Mhm.
Okay, so you know both sides of this, and it just dawned on me because if you're active duty and retired, because my parents are retired, there is more of a provision for healthcare in the sense of doctors and nurses and stuff.
Mhm.
My son just almost a year ago jumped and broke his ankle and broke it so severely
I
it's
hear that.
completely broken. I mean, not
Mm,
fractured or anything completely. So now he has
mm,
screws and bolts and all of these things in his ankle. And praise God, he is recovered. We were celebrating walking 3 miles the other day, and so I
Mhm.
wanted to, yeah, that's going to bring me back to what you were talking about the bowl analogy and it, the fractures are now with gold in it, right? And so now we celebrate that more, that 3 mile walk now than we did before. We walked 6 miles, and yeah, that was something to be, noted, but but now it has even more meaning for that, right? The
Mhm.
ability, the healing, the coming back, right? So in the military, because I can remember at 13 getting my tonsils out,
mm.
and that my parents didn't have this medical bill, this huge and when I tell you what they wanted to were or gave us quotes on my son's operation. I mean, first they were saying like $85,000 to have his operation to do that. And I also was watching this YouTube guy, and he interviews people that have gone out of the country. And there's this one couple, and they have 4 children, and one of their motivating decisions to move outside the country is that their son broke his arm, and even though they had insurance and they felt that they'd done all the things, they got a hospital bill of $17,000.
I believe it.
Yeah. So where I'm going with this is, we're talking about the resilience and the self-care and the self-awareness. It's to that we really need to also open our eyes to what are some of the solutions to these things. One, military, if you're active duty, hey, they take care of these things. I don't know why as a country we don't have that same philosophy, but there are some things, beyond the, are you still with me? Because my,
Yeah.
Yep, we're still with you.
I don't know what my computer just did, but anyway, I don't know what it just did. Okay. The whole screen came up different. Anyways, so, some of the things that we need to do to actually, do that self-care, it goes beyond, whether we're taking a pill or something like that. So what do you see as a person that has been both in the military, where your health care is readily available to you, that you don't have to consider the cost? I mean, we need to consider cost, but what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm glad you asked it. And I'm just going to be honest. Can I be honest?
Please. They do.
Our healthcare system in the United States is very dysfunctional.
Yeah.
So being in the military for 22 years where you got healthcare, I mean, they made you go to the doctor. You didn't have to worry about paying for your meds. So when I retired and I got in the civilian world and started working in civilian clinics and healthcare, it blew my mind.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
people cannot afford the medication.
Yeah.
People can't afford to go to the doctor. And
Yes.
all I can say is greed. Okay?
Yeah. Sure.
Greed. Because depending on who you are,
Yeah.
what kind of insurance you have,
Yes.
you're going to
Yes.
pay $10,000 for a procedure, or you're going to pay $5.
Yes.
Where is that fair?
I don't know.
We're not doing that in America.
In America, that's right.
And it's legal. And it just breaks my heart
Yeah.
to see that our healthcare system is so dysfunctional. And I believe everybody deserves VIP healthcare service.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It shouldn't be
VIP.
that you don't have a job, so you're not going to get good healthcare. No, ma'am, no, sir. Everybody deserves it. So it's really been a challenge for me because I see patients. I work at a federally qualified health center, which means the patients I see, lack of resources or no insurance or very little health insurance. And so they need the services. They need the healthcare. They need the medications.
Yeah.
And they can't afford it. And so where I work, we have a program where, okay, if you can't afford your medications, we'll try to help you. We'll try to give you a discount. But I'll be honest, sometimes we still can't help people. They'll come see me. I need all my medicines, but I ain't got no money.
Yeah.
Gosh. And so good thing is we do have resources. We have social workers. We have behavior health specialists. We have clinical pharmacists to help people because we just live in a society that's based on capitalism. So how much money can I get out of this person?
And not only that, the thing about it is, I think that what people don't understand is this adds into the self things that we're talking about. Because once you tell somebody that they can't get the medication or they can't get the help that they need, well, their self-awareness is gone because now they feel less than, they can't take care of themselves. So the self-care is gone. You know what I mean? Then the self-control goes out of because they want to fuss and cuss and tell everybody else off because of what they're not able to get. So you've taken all of the self things that develop them into a person that can actively function,
Yes.
you're giving them the dysfunction by considering them less than,
Mhm.
less than anything. I have that problem here all the time. I'm retired law enforcement. And sometimes when I show them my ID, the first thing they do, look at her ID. She's got coverage. And I'm standing there going, what is wrong with my ID? And it wasn't until after a couple of times that people explained they're not used to your coverage being as extensive as it is. But it's that extensive because regardless if I'm retired or not, God forbid something break out, I might be on that call list where they say, you need to report, because you're a first responder. So the thing about it is you have to understand what you get, when you get it, and how you get it. But then the background of it is we'll stand up and fight for our health care, but who's fighting for their health care?
Sure.
Who's fighting for the health care that's not getting the copay that makes sense?
Right.
When the copay don't make sense, how am I going to go to the doctor? When they can, or when they can change my medication because they want me to take the generic brand as opposed to the regular brand. All of this fits into how you're treating me and how I feel about me, because now I feel less than. I'm less than the person that was at the hospital and had the same problem, but they were taken care of and I couldn't get taken care of. How do I feel self-worth when you don't even consider me worth it? So that's a problem that's well beyond the nurse. You know what I mean? The mother, the son, the retired person that still has, exceptional health care. Like I said, I have great health care. I didn't even know how great it was till they started running around and I had
All right.
Yeah.
It's good. Okay, you say so.
Yeah, right.
I didn't even know. I had no clue because, like you said, when you're active, you know what you got. But when you retire, you don't really know. And when like I said, I moved, I showed them my ID and they were like, well, wait a minute. We don't know about that. Wait a minute. And somebody else said, yeah, that's like the military's ID. She's law enforcement, and I was like, well, what does that mean? Am I paying? What am I paying? Like, I'm having a happy dance. Am I giving you money? What's going on? But it's crazy. It's just crazy that we don't embrace those that have less than. We kind of we kind of look at it and say, well, you got less than, oh well, when we should be embracing those that have less than. If you you should be walking around limping simply because you can't afford the medication to take the swelling out of your feet. That shouldn't be. But overcoming in that case, overcoming burnout and finding your purpose. How they gonna overcome this burnout? How are you expecting people to grow as a community or as a person to grow and find their purpose when they can't even go to the doctor to find out what's wrong? Or they can't even reflect on their past. And we always say, sometimes it's best to let go of the past. But how do you let go of it if it's still there? It's talking louder than the purpose. It's speaking louder than the voice. It's speaking like, or when you do relax in the voice, it sneaks in and punctures certain things. So how do you think Pure Wellness is going to help develop some of these things that people need to overcome burnout?
That's a great question. Thank you for asking that. So, my whole goal and purpose with Pure Wellness is for people to understand that number one, nobody's perfect. Number two, there are going to be times in your life when things are not going to go the way you plan. And so, how do you react to that? How can you overcome that? And so, with Pure Wellness, I like to educate. So what I plan on doing, what I'm going to do is give people those tools, those resources, not just verbally, but also physical things. These are things you can do for yourself to help yourself out. How about putting the cell phone down and not spending all day like this? That can be dangerous.
Well, wait a minute. That's as bad as the brownies now. That's a bad tip.
Brownies and cell phones, okay?
Yeah, right.
So sometimes people don't know what they don't know. So if my goal is to educate and to empower and to hopefully transform people, if that's what they want, into a way to maneuver through this dysfunctional healthcare system and dysfunctionalness we have in the world. Because you're going to have times when you just like, I'm done. And this is a great example. I know what healthcare burnout looks like. I've experienced healthcare burnout. I've had to take a step back, 6 weeks off, and I'm not ashamed to say it. I took 6 weeks off of work because I felt healthcare worker burnout. I felt it coming on. When I have a patient who is has a mental health condition and is off her medications, and she comes in the room and she's just like, you ain't doing nothing for me. I don't never want to see you again. And then my flesh starts rising up. That's when I was burned out.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because I was about to clap back all of them.
Yes.
So I was like, you got to take a step back. And the people that I work with, my leadership, my supervisor, I don't think they understood at first.
No.
But I have a good relationship with my supervisor. I said, look at it this way. If I was in a car accident and I broke 2 legs and 2 arms, would you want me to come back to work next week? No, you would give me time to heal. So when it comes to burnout, mentally, you can't see it, but it's there.
It is there.
I want to encourage people and teach people, how do you know those signs? How do you know you burned out?
And that's exactly what people don't understand. Every condition is not visible.
Exactly.
You can't see where I'm diseased. You can't see where, like you said, I'm burnt out.
Right.
You can't see where I'm stressed. You can't see my anxiety.
Right.
You can't see, and all of that will lead you to a heart attack.
That's right.
All of that can lead you to
a
heart attack, a mental breakdown. All of that can lead you to something that is really, really, detrimental to your health.
Autoimmune conditions.
For some reason, we had 2 different examples. One guy, I said to him, in a class, we were doing stress management. And I said to the class, how many of you know when it's time for you to take a vacation? How many of you know when it's time to just take a sick day? Take a day off. How many of you know it? And he mumbled, I'll never get burned out. I can work, get that overtime. I'll take the days off and I'll get the overtime. And I said to him, that's not the same thing. You need to take a break. Even in your home, you need to have a room or area where you can go take a break from family stuff that's going on. You need to be able to separate yourself sometime. 1 week later, he came back. He had paperwork for me, and I looked at the paperwork and I said, "This is not the correct paperwork." What do you mean? No, that's what they signed. I said, no, you brought me the wrong thing. So you've transported an inmate with no paperwork. You don't have the right paperwork. So this man has been transported. Luckily, he's here. We can say that he came where he was supposed to come. But we don't have paperwork. You need that proper paperwork because you need my signature to say that he arrived here.
Yeah.
He said to me, well, what are you going to do? What am I going to do? No. But all of this was the process of his burnout. You have
Yeah.
been doing things so long the
Sure.
same way
Yeah.
that you're not even paying attention anymore
Mhm.
to what you're
Mhm.
doing. So when
Yeah.
we got it straight, I had to tell him, well, if you don't do this, I'm gonna have to make my report. You're gonna have to clear this up. So he had to do a few things,
Yeah.
because he traveled a good distance with this guy. So he had to make some calls and different things. But the thing about it is,
Yeah.
I said to him, this is what we were talking about when we said burnout.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
You need to take a couple of days off.
Mhm.
Get away from this
Yeah.
Mhm.
so that your
Yeah.
thought process becomes more astute to what you're doing.
Sure.
Mhm.
Because you're not paying attention
Right.
to what your job is.
Mhm.
You've lost sight of it.
Yeah.
Even though you got the person, but I don't have the
Mhm.
paperwork.
Right.
There's nothing I can do about it.
Right.
The other thing was we had a suicide. And the first thing, like you said about healthcare, the administration
Mhm.
sent people in. And the first thing they said was, does anyone feel like they need to surrender their gun? What? What?
What?
And I was saying to myself, she needs a break. She needs
Yeah. That's a fair enough question to ask, though, in my opinion. 'Cause
exactly. It is a standard
you don't
question, but
know.
you got to wait until the timing is right to ask that question, because now
Sure.
you're asking somebody to surrender something that they know they have to be on duty.
Mhm. Yeah.
The question was not about your gun. The question
Right.
was about you.
Yeah.
How do you
Exactly.
feel?
Mhm.
And never ask that question, because administration never asked that, because they're not concerned about how you feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're concerned about your safety, but your safety is
Mhm.
connected to your feelings.
How you
Yeah.
feel? Yes, definitely.
Sure.
How you going to do your job as a nurse if you burnt out?
Exactly.
Exactly. And because again, even in that burnout, even if you continue to go and do it, you'll make a mistake, and it could be a costly mistake. It could cost a patient
It could
their
cost something. It
Yeah,
could cost
can.
somebody
Yeah.
something. But
Yeah,
this is not this,
absolutely.
just like you said, doctor, the administration didn't ask, did anybody feel like they needed to go home?
Mm,
Or did they feel like they needed a break?
mm.
That wasn't the question. The question was, does anybody want to surrender their weapon?
You're right.
Mm.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. Wow.
no.
Wow.
Where's the health care in that? Where's the are you okay? You learn about a death in the family and you're asking people, well, how many days you gonna take off?
Mm.
What?
That's sad.
What?
It is
So
sad.
sad.
It is sad.
And you don't know the circumstances to know if they're already overwhelmed.
Exactly.
Yeah,
the law.
and that's it is. Oh, it is sad. It is, because again, I'm looking at this and it's like you're supposed to be in the healthcare industry,
Exactly.
and again, what does that mean, healthcare? Because
Yeah.
if you're not caring about even
The health of your workers.
the healthcare workers,
Mm-mm.
that should be priority number one, right?
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
make sure
To make sure you're healthy.
Yeah,
You're healthy.
you're healthy, mind,
Yeah.
body, and soul, so that you can care for,
Mm-mm.
Mhm.
Oh,
No,
That's how it
not
should
at
be.
yes, that's how it
It's
should be.
supposed to be, but it's not.
Mm,
So one of the other things was you talk about women's empowerment and leadership, and we know that in this society, this male dominant society that we live in, I think my personal opinion, and anybody that wants to repeat what I'm saying, I'm not scared to say it aloud or in mixed company, that most men are scared of women being empowered.
mm,
Yes.
Most men in our society that we live in, we're scared that a woman can become dominant in any field. Doesn't matter what field she's in. It's just that you really don't want her. First off, you label it where she's not the head of the household. She's not know, she's not supposed to be the head at a work environment. She's not supposed to be the president of the United States. You know, so we have a overall problem with women's empowerment and leadership. How do we overcome that? Oh, listen to that sigh.
Great question. I was like,
Yeah.
but you know what? That makes me think what you're doing is one of the keys. You are empowering women with your podcast. You are letting women know that, hey, you can sit at the table.
That's right. That's right.
You're
That's
smart
right.
enough.
And not only that, my saying is always, you can go to the table, and if they don't have enough chairs, bring your own.
Exactly.
Bring your own chair and set the table up the way you want to. Make it really nice and just tell them, scoot over. I got my own.
I'm coming. Hey, y'all.
I'm coming. Hey, guys. Yes, because I think that the sympathetic side of all of this, like Felice was saying about the healthcare system and how it's set up, and you've expressed it as well, that it just seems to be that hardcore, this is this and this is that, and we place the pegs wherever they fit. And if they don't fit, the pegs don't have a place, you know, and we don't worry about it. But the thing about it is that with women's empowerment and leadership, a lot of times women are the ones that come in and find the place for the peg. They find a place for how it fits in. They find a place for the comfort. They soothe the situation. They bring the calm to the chaos. So a lot of times we look at it as women just being subtle and being whatever, and not realizing that that is their power.
Yeah.
That is the power. You know, that is the power and the leadership that they give. Although we may stand behind the figure that's there, 9 times out of 10, the leadership is coming from the woman anyway.
Yes.
But they don't want that to be labeled women's empowerment. So Dr. Lee, how dare you call it women's empowerment and leadership? You know? But I think that it's a blessing to know that Pure Wellness incorporates that.
Yes.
That's something that's separate, because it's not something that's an overall blanket or overall assumed, you know, that there's an empowerment and leadership that must be instilled. The plans of Pure Wellness. How would you go about in enforcing this or bringing people to the understanding that it's needed?
Yeah. And for me, that's all about awareness. And so when you make people aware of how powerful they are, of how wonderful they are, you are God's masterpiece, created to do great things in Jesus Christ. When you start filling your cup, filling yourself, filling your mind with what God says about you, whatever would you say, what is God saying about me?
Yeah.
So us coming together, this space that we're in, this is empowering. Hopefully we can empower women to say, hey, your voice matters. You matter. You're important. And I think that if we just continue to create spaces like this for women and create spaces for just people in general to let them know their worth. You are worth something, okay?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Empower people.
I love your saying that you gave us was brokenness was never the end of my story. It was the place where grace taught me how to rise.
Yeah.
And this is in her book, Gracefully Broken. This is some of what she's giving you, some of those nuggets that we need, those nuggets that we need to grow. Because a lot of times we look for growth and we find someone pointing the finger at us and saying, well, how you expect to grow when you broke? You know? How you expect to grow when you got 4 kids? How you expect to grow when you got a little job? How you expect? All of these things are things that throw back at us because they don't expect us to grow. But when we think about being broken and what you've demonstrated with the cup, and Felice has talked about with the golden, the gold in it, and how that golden part of you needs to be able to be shining. So I want everybody to go get that book. Go get that. Go get that book.
Very good.
Broken, how God restored my life piece by piece, because we all are seeking restoration, and it don't happen all at once. I don't want y'all to think that, hey, I'm prayed to God and He gonna help me get such and such and such, and boom, here it comes. No, He may very well give you a new job first. He may very well give you new connections, new networking first. He may very well say, hey, this is a path you're going to have to take to learn first. So don't be discouraged because you did not get that house. Don't be discouraged because you did not get, whatever your big goal is. Start out with smaller goals. Start out with that. And you can reach Dr. Lee on her Gmail. You can get in touch with her there. And make sure, like I said, go and get the book.
It's on Amazon.
Go get the book. On Amazon. All of you Prime people that like to get books through the Prime, go and get the book and add it on your list. Add it on your list. But sometimes we need those books, not so much the ones that give us drama and fiction and all that. That sometimes we need those self-help books. A book that's going to help you, even though it's her story. It will help you through your story. And Felice has a last question for you.
I do, but oh my gosh, this I knew this was going to be good. I knew it. I knew it. Oh gosh, there's so many things that even still I want to ask you, but let me just ask our question. And so we ask all our guests, and thank you again, not only for your service to our country, but for your gift that you're sharing for the world. Thank you for living out your purpose. It inspires me. It gives me encouragement. And I was going to say about the empowerment, and what you just said is do it anyways. Just go ahead and do it anyways. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for permission, and especially for the ones that want to hold you down. that they have their whole agenda that doesn't have anything to do with you, because they're saying that their power can be diminished by you living out your greatness, and that ain't true unless But I mean, and maybe it is, because then you're not authentically living in your empowerment. Okay, all right. I'm gonna take my feet off of the soapbox because it has been great, and I love how there have been lots of answers to this question throughout this conversation. But I love that I get to ask you this specifically. Okay, so. As great as your gifts are to the world, and you mentioned it a little bit ago about overflow, what do you do, Miss Dr. Julie Lee, to fill your cup?
What do I do to fill my cup? That's a great question, because I have to fill it every day.
She eats brownies.
I don't eat brownies, so I tell you what I don't do.
That's filling her belly, but what
I do to fill my cup is I focus on me first thing in the morning. I focus on my relationship with God. I wake up and I think, okay, Lord, what can I do today to serve you? How can I help somebody? And so when I do that, and I meditate a lot. I exercise. That's how I can free my brain. So don't think I go run 5 miles. I don't do that anymore. I walk. I will walk.
I too.
I will go to the pool. I don't get the hair wet now. I go in the pool and I walk in the pool, because that resistance is really good for the bones and the joints. So I exercise. I meditate. I'm not ashamed to go to bed at 7 p.m. if I'm tired.
Very good.
I allow myself, I allow myself the rest that I need. And so I do things that make me feel good.
Mhm.
And then when I fill that cup up, then I can serve others from a
Yes.
space of being grateful and kind. So things I do to fill my cup. Number one, I wake up, I meditate, I pray, I ask God, what do you want me to do today? Who can I bless today? I get up, I exercise. Routine is really important for me. So I'll exercise. I try to do like 20, 30 minutes a day. That even if that's walking or going to the gym, in the pool, just walking and doing walking laps in the pool.
Mhm.
I like massages. I like to just sort of get away. I like nature. So I like mountains and beaches
Oh yeah.
and I'll go for a nature walk. I'll take a break and be like, okay, I need about 15 minutes where I just go and breathe in God's air and
Yeah.
see the beauty that God created. Just go outside and just look at the trees, and anything not touched by man is just beautiful to me.
Amen.
I like watching the nature shows where it's just like showing all the God's creation, the mountains,
Mhm.
the beaches,
Yeah.
the canyons, the parks. That is beautiful to me. So that's
Yeah.
God's work. And so
Yeah.
hopefully I answered your question. I felt
No,
like I
you
was
did. You did. There's no wrong answer to this because
Yeah.
your cup
Yeah.
and how you feel it is totally between you and God. And so, thank you for answering the question. And
Yeah.
thank you again for giving your gifts to the world.
Yes. Thank you for your service. Thank you for being a guest.
Mhm.
We've enjoyed this session. We want to thank everyone that comes in and watches the replay, watches it online, watches it on my website. Go and visit the website, because Felice and I opened up tonight talking about the youth that we did the magazine for. Please go and look at those youth, and if you have suggestions, let us know. Let us know, what do you think? If we should continue it the same way we do the regular magazine every quarter, or if we should do it twice a year, or continue to do it once a year. But it's something that we strongly feel that our youth are our tomorrow. And if we don't recognize them today, then what happens? You know, they need to be recognized where they are today.
Yeah.
So we want to congratulate those youth again for, having a fabulous background, and congratulate you, Dr. Lee, for your fabulous background and your new book. Make sure you go and get her new book. We're going to stand by as we say goodnight to our guests.
Good night, everyone.
And good night, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. This has been a blessing. And thank you all for what you're doing. I think you are empowering women, people, by this space that you have created. So, I love
thank you so much.
Back at you.
Thank you.
Love it.